by myself. But if it's bad, I've got 2 individuals who are joining remotely. They are the ones who prepared it, so don't blame me for that. So let's start with, the day in the life of an insurance company. So you know exactly what happens. I hope it's, wait, you need to teach me this. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So let's see the life of an insurance company. When we bring in customers, I want you to understand, the ones who are not from the insurance sector, I want you to understand how we manage our business. Okay, so in a day we get around 1,000 application forms from various agents. That's one insurance company. Proposal forms that have been brought by agents that we need to, do what we call assessing and writing. Okay. Now, those are for the maybe long-term and individual policies. For corporates, we get Excel files. We get like 3,000 members, 10,000 members here. Then you have to clean up that data. That's what we work on a daily basis. Okay, that's on applications. Then the whole trend changes when we go to the claiming side. So on the claiming side, on average, we get 12,000 claims in our Jubilee group for the health company. 12,000 claims. Each claim has got an average of 7 pieces of paper. Okay? So that's 84,000 pieces of paper per day. Okay. Now, you guys, you remember during the during the elections, you are given 46,000. How long did it take you to tally? Okay. How long? You're still tallying, yeah? That's what we get in a day. We get 1,000, more than 100,000 pieces of paper that we have to tally per day. And then at the end of the day, we must make sure they make sense and we pay the providers on time, we pay the agents, we pay your claim on time, we make sure that the service levels are maintained. So what it requires is that I must have an army of people. You saw how the media houses struggled, right? They struggled, they had to hire 300 people, 400. You guys were telling your Excels what? And your numbers didn't even agree, right? So that's a kind of, we are doing double what IBC gave you. That's what we do, double on a daily basis, every day. Then now, the technologies we use are also archaic. The majority of the core systems we use were actually developed in early 2000 to late 2000, so up to 2010. So they are the ones that we've been relying on up to now. So these technologies, talking about changing and all that kind of stuff, we don't want to change the core because this is where the majority of the data sits. It's the main business. So our policies for the last 50 years, that's where they sit. The policy you took 30 years ago for your life policy sits in that core system. You want me to go touch it? Right? Sounds like a crisis, right? So that's why we don't want to touch it. Then you're telling me now to bring in something different, a new product, which is going to require me to want to change that core system. Okay, if the developer who developed that system is no longer working for that company that developed it. So that's the life of an insurance company. That's what we go through on a daily basis, guys. Okay, then now I'm supposed to think about going to the cloud. And by the way, we are the first guys already, we are heading to the cloud and a number of applications are there. So we're making changes. As in, we know we are old, we are 85, not 170 that I had. But I mean, we are there. So we are also trying to innovate. And my colleagues here can tell you that we're trying to make things work. So in all those kinds of cases, then you expect claims to be lost, right? You bring your forms, it will be misplaced. It may be in someone's drawer, right? It will be found after 3 weeks. And we hope that will be paid on time, yeah? So it is what it is. So that's why things happen the way they are. Okay, that's why we are also coming back and saying, you guys, come and tell us what is there. Again, you want me to have a powerhouse for development, 50 people? It's another game. How do I manage 50 developers? Then I have to go and manage BAU, the day-to-day. Then I have to go make sure the servers are up and running. Actually, this time last week, it went down. So, so that's the fires we have to go through. But then I think what you've done is, as a company, as Jubilee, we've made some huge kind of strides, I think, which we must appreciate. Our management has been quite supportive. This year alone, we got around $20 million as investments in technology. Okay, so, so that's, the board that's telling us, we want you guys to go out and change the way we do things. We are old, but we want to play as young tags in the market. Because we are number one, so we must make sure that we go to the level we need to go through. So what is it that we want to do then, or what are the technologies that are coming up? Now, if you look at, if I just take you to the first slide, I've said it's vague. We are very good and we record profits here and there. But you see, if you look at the operation, that is a vague kind of setup, right? So then now, what is it that we are planning to do? I picked this from a slide I had in 2019, where I talked of the future of insurance. Then when I looked at what we are doing and what we are currently implementing, now we are saying, you know what? It's the same thing that I presented in 2019. I think even in 2020, during COVID, in the CIO forum, I also presented this slide. So it's the same one. I just went and changed, crossed out feature, said it's now, because it's happening now. Okay, so the things that I'm going to talk about here are actually things that we are already handling. Which we spoke about, I told you about you were tallying, right? Okay, you didn't even manage the tallying process. One of my guys from the robotics center in our company, during the time, it took 30 minutes, created a robot that was extracting all the forms from the IBC portal, capturing in Excel, and it could give me the details. Anytime a form is uploaded, it immediately does that. So it was ahead of what the media houses were doing, using robotics. Okay, so one of the areas that, technology areas that insurance companies can also start looking at is to stabilize. I'm looking at stabilizing. Remember, we are still getting forms and providers are taking long to change. Agents, they don't have those gadgets and the likes. So what do? The papers will still come in, so we are already investing in robotics. So what it does is all the documents you get, the robot will pick the details from the documents, it will capture the details to the system, it will reconcile your records, it will do your premium allocations and whatever you need. So we're all doing that. So instead of now telling people, capture these details, we are telling people, you know what, can you own your own robot? That can actually then work for you. Can you make it be more efficient? So this is an area that I think insurance companies can start looking at, not just insurance, even banks, as a frontier. It gives you 0 errors. It captures the details as they are, and it works day and night, no maternity leave, no public holiday, And good thing is, if you only have one and it's working perfectly, you can actually replicate, clone them up to 50 of them. So if the workload increases, you increase the workloads. So the next one, which has been, the discussions that have been going on have been quite amazing. It was like you were summarizing, talking about what I have in this slide. So artificial intelligence, and let me combine it with machine learning. So in 2018, some 2 young men came to my office. So they came and said, you know what, we are developing a solution where you take a photo of a car, and it will tell you if the car is a Mercedes-Benz and the dent, if it's, damaged, fully, it can be repaired or it should be replaced, and what is the price of that particular spare part. Then I looked at it and said, you know what, actually we can take it back at the time of onboarding this particular vehicle. So you go and take a photo of that particular car. It's a customer who takes, the pictures. So the algorithm will just tell you this is a Mercedes-Benz, the model is this, year manufacturer is this, and all that kind of stuff. And if there's, let's say it had an accident, it can even check and say, yes, the color in this particular part is different from this particular part, so it must have had some previous kind of accident. And then you can now pass it through an algorithm that you have used in the past to even tell you what's the valuation of that particular car. After you do that, for let's say you've got 1,000 or 500 images, which we have in our offices, we can actually have the onboarding process automated using AI. Now, at the time of claiming, immediately you just take a photo of that particular car. I'm able to know if it's the exact car that the image is for, when did the accident happen, is it repairable or not repairable, and all that, and I can immediately reimburse you. That's AI and machine learning at work. Okay, so these are technologies which are already here. And imagine this 2019, and that was in 2019, 2018, 2019, so we are talking of 2022, and the way technology is changing, I mean, it's a no-brainer for us, really. I mean, something we just need to implement. Okay, talking of claims auto-adjudication, you know, this process, I'm telling you, is now like an automated adjudication process. Now, let's take it to the medical side. And I'm giving you something that we've done. You see, when you are getting all those thousands of claims per day. Okay, so time is over. Thank you. So when you have 6,000 claims coming in, various customers, different age sets, treated for various diseases, and you want to have someone to assess, what do we do in the back end? We now have an algorithm that actually assesses those claims, clinical engineering using AI. Auto-adjudicates, we ran around 400 claims. The 400 claims could have been processed by around 5 people, from 8 to 5. It took 27 seconds to assess all those claims. 27 seconds to assess all that. It was able to decline 40% of the claims. Could even say, you know what, this drug reacts to this, you should not have given this. Okay, this particular drug, this should not go for this particular age group. So you can even know the quality of care you're getting from the various providers. That's what clinical education can also give you. So I'll try to rush them quickly. Internet of Things, telematics is what you've been talking about. I mean, it can now even you can move away from the gadget and maybe use a software where just have it installed in your mobile phone, and as you drive, you're able to know your movements. And of course, blockchain and big data, which is the discussion we had here. I want to see us moving to the smart contracts. You know, I would like, instead of me being notified that so-and-so has passed away, actually immediately a record is created that there's a death certificate or death notification of death. I immediately process your life policy. Okay, that's blockchain. You know, that's an area I would like us to start venturing into, you know, from the insurance side. So, in terms of the technologies that are already now available, that we can start moving into, yeah, you know, the now of technology, we have a number of them. Infrastructure as a service. So the era where we have to start buying servers, and then it takes 6 months before they are delivered, and then you have to bring in engineers to start installing them, is gone. Just like, you know, you said. So we are now going into, I can lease a server, and I don't worry about its availability, its redundancy, backups, and all that kind of stuff. I'm already moving into platform as a service. I don't have to start investing in database administrators and batching and all that kind of stuff. It's a technology that we must embrace as insurance companies, and I'm expecting InsurTech to also support us in that journey. I'm also looking at software as a service. I don't want to start developing a whole solution where I have to develop and, you know, purchase. I can use the Lamy platform, and that is it. You know, I start transacting my business. I can create a product now and launch it in the evening, and I start getting customers at night. So we also have serverless platforms where you just build your code. You don't worry about where it's being hosted, security, and all that kind of stuff. We have even gone to security as a service. I don't want to worry about how are my servers secure and all that kind of stuff. You outsource that to the people who can do it better. We have even gone to communications as a service. Today, you want to move workloads, or you want to achieve particular bandwidth, you can actually go to a platform and say, I want 500 mega, you know, Mbps. It immediately gives you that bandwidth. That's like communication as a service. That's what we need to move to. And of course, the low-code platforms where you can give your back office staff just training for 1 week, and they can create for you a workflow system that you can actually use in your office. You don't require technology, guys. And that's all I had from the insurance field. Thank you so much.